All right, tis the season and tis that time of year. It is Christmas time, and I wanted to show something really fun. The Takting does. This is just so fun. Okay, let me show you the ability to go between having the legend in one spot or another, and why I do that is because over here, you can have the legend, and if you zoom to the right spot, you can actually see the snowflakes, right? And I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but the snowflakes look really fun. The snowflakes are a fun thing that they add so that you can see it back kind of behind, so you can see it kind of right there. But I usually like to be like really zoomed in so I can see more, right? So I like this type of getting close. So that's super fun. But usually when you're here and you have the legend off to the side, that's something that you can change so that you have it just where you want it. Another thing, you can show the grid rows, which is this, right? So you see the squares versus, going back to it, if you turn the grid rows off, now you just have grid columns, so you can kind of see it's just the columns. And I'm showing the current takt time or time that I'm in, right? You can turn that on and off. Takt time highlight, right? So you can turn that highlight off. You can turn the grid completely off, so it looks something like this, right? So I personally like the columns and the takt time highlight. The milestone highlight is fun too, right? So there's tons of different things that you can finick around with. You can do the light version versus the dark version. Personally, I learned takting on the dark version, so I'm more of a dark version. You can toggle between showing just a takt time or the actual dates. Personally, I like the takt time because then you're not focused on a date. You're just focused on the process and the build sequence, and are you hitting the pace? That's all you need to know, is what is the pace everyone goes at? An hour, 10 minutes, a day, a week. Wherever you're at in your takt journey or your production journey, for producing to a takt time, that's the question. Just get to focusing on what the pace is and tracking every single item to that same thing, because now everyone's on the same page. Everyone has to attack it at the same unit, the unit, right? Which is the zones, areas, or whatever we're talking about. And each piece might be different, which means that you might have to go down to a subtakt to understand, are we able to track this or not? Which is what, if you dive into the actual work steps, that's why we have the rate at the work steps. We're able to do that type of tracking within the system, because that's what we need. So I hope that anyone out there that's interested to level up and become a takt nerd like the rest of us is interested in this type of a system that helps you to get to the next level of detail. We can see the wagons, we can see each work package within a takt time and toggle between them. And then you can go down to the actual individual work steps and say, are we tracking? Are we on track, ahead or behind? Both with production, quality, design, logistics, the actual handover process. What do you want your standard handover process to be? All of your material, all of your equipment, all tracked here within the same thing. Tracking your manpower and their actual productivity so that you can see the plan versus actual. Really cool. Lots of really amazing things. The cool thing about it is that there are certain parts of this system that you don't have to do in order to do this. Like, you could just do it visually. You could track the actual statuses of the work package. You could track the statuses at the step level or at the standard work level, which is this, right? So really awesome, really cool. And I wanted to do just one last shout out in 2024, because this is the Christmas season. And I wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody, and looking forward to 2025, because it's going to be absolutely bonkers. So stay tuned. We'll see you next year. Merry Christmas.